It appears President Biden is giving up on his widespread student loan handouts. His administration is pulling the plug on two proposals that would have bailed out over 30 million borrowers. Now, critics are asking, was it all just a lie? Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy is saying this: the Biden-Harris administration's student loan schemes were always a lie. With this latest withdrawal, they are admitting these schemes were nothing more than a dishonest attempt to buy votes by transferring debt onto taxpayers who never went to college or worked to pay off their loans. And although President Biden didn't achieve his goal of widespread loan bailouts, what he did manage to do was cost taxpayers $180 billion. He cleared the debts of nearly 5 million borrowers, and all of it was on your dime. You know, Griff, we first saw an announcement before the 2022 midterms. I mean, Democrats did do well with young voters that election cycle. So did this attempt to buy voters work?
Well, listen, let's just get this out of the way. You cannot expect under the incoming new administration that this is going to get picked up and continued. And I think the real lesson in this is when this administration, currently the Biden administration, was being told that this isn't going to pass the muster, they still tried to do it anyway, perhaps for shameless votes. And at the end of the day, I love how it was pressing and critical and important. And now it's like, yeah, we're going to forget that. We're going to move on. And it's really a slap in the face. Look, I try not to weigh in personally on these things. I'm a journalist, be objective. But as someone who's now paid 2 college tuitions, it never made sense from the beginning. And it isolated people that work hard to either put their kids through school or people that were putting themselves through school. So, out of all the things that he could have just folded tent and walked away from, it's too bad he didn't do it earlier.
Well, and Carly, to Griff's point and to Senator Cassidy's as well, I mean, this is robbing Peter to pay Paul. So what about Peter? Why does Paul have to be on the hook?
Exactly.
Or why does Peter have to be on the hook?
There's a lot of Peters
what
in
about
this
Peter?
country. This was always the most brazen vote-buying scheme. And Nancy Pelosi said presidents don't have the power to do this. The Supreme Court literally ruled that presidents don't have the power to do this. And then Joe Biden found a workaround to the tune of $180 billion. But here's what happened is that a lot of young people out there said, wait a second, you told us that you were going to cancel all student debt. And then they became angry, so it backfired. And that's what happens when you buy votes rather than inspire people to vote for you. People always want more.
Well, and Kennedy, I mean, we've seen study after study showing that the more the federal government subsidizes student loans, the college tuition increases. So, I mean, is it time to just get the government out of the way?
Yes, absolutely. Healthcare, housing, and education, 3 sectors where the more government involvement you have, there's a direct proportion, the more expensive these things become. And to Carly's point, if you haven't gotten a college degree, why should you be paying for someone else's? That's like a bunch of people getting plastic surgery. And now all of a sudden they're really attractive, saying, ugly people, you now have to pay for the plastic surgery. But you don't get any. You don't get to enjoy the fruits of their hotness. You just have to subsidize it. And that's something that's completely unfair. But also, they were playing with the emotions of people who are trying desperately to pay off their student debt. So here they are thinking, oh, this is great. Finally, I can save that money that I've been paying every month for these federal loans and put it towards saving for a house. Now they can't do either.
But I will always appreciate your ability to make a joke while also making a very substantive point. But, Kaylee, so it might have worked in the short term with the student loan bailout, but it didn't work in the presidential election, in part because young voters were feeling the pain of inflation, feeling the pain of this economy.
Absolutely. And first, I'll just say, I'm wary of chalking this up as a win for conservatives for the same reason I'm wary of chalking up Biden's dismissal of his Title IX rewrite as a win, because I think this is a bureaucratic maneuver to prevent the incoming Trump administration from permanently preventing these policies from being finalized. My guess is they want to hold this on the table till the next Democratic administration or until the next Democratic candidate wants to use the exact same vote buying scheme. But to Democrats who think that this is a good strategy, to your point, they really need to look at the election's results a little bit more closely because it didn't work. Young voters my age were not persuaded by student loan debt forgiveness. In fact, they swung several points.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.